Hi, Roxanne, Sarah, Rebecca, Yvette, Roxanne, you ain't see, you know. Well, listen to this Valentine's Day, so upon a little rare, little sachet. Hey, I can't be in the people thing too. Hi, Christopher. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I'll honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, my elders, and those in authority. I'll be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds, and I'll strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country. And I do love my country, and I love all my brothers and sisters of different races and all ethnicities, all groups. However, there are some within those communities who not doing good at all. They're not behaving. Some in our own community and some in the other community. The behavior is very discriminatory and very, very racist at its core sometimes. But you'll get to that. And so thank you, Maria. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. So let me start the thing now. Tell all this Bacchanal Friday. So I start in Bacchanal anyway, anyhow. As a Trini. So let me see what I have here. Well, Carnival is in the air. Hi, Katian. Carnival is in the air, so you know we're doing Carnival things too. And Carnival is Bacchanal. If you want to see Bacchanal, Carnival is the place to be. You know that's one of the things that we fought for in this country. We fight for the right for we to have Bacchanal on the road, for we to. When we look at the Campbell rats, I think that was all about. And I'm going to tell you something. Bacchanal start from Point Princess Song coming down. And you know a woman had to be in that too. Pelta stone bus with the man head. Bacchanal for so Bacchanal. Hey, we always say. And when only hear the term Jamet. Jamet meant or still means, it depending on who is speaking about it. Some people look at it as a negative connotation to a Jamet, you know. Once like a prostitute and all that. You see in Trinidad, Jamets, the biggest Jamets and them in this country, you know, I tell you, a strong woman who didn't stand for no BS from nobody, woman who live on the fringe of society, woman who will tell you as it is. Those are the women who used to be in the panyard and thing when they come back from all the stick fight and the clash and all that. Them was like the nurse and them used to be in the panyard. Them used to be the woman and them taking care of the children. Them is the woman who out there letting them know the bourgeoisie and them know you ain't better than we. Yeah, so when you look at the term Jamet again, don't look at it as no prostitute and no old. Look at it in the context of the woman who back then, just like Elmer Francois in the labor movement, it had women in the pan movement, it had women within that society, you know. Women who used to fight, you know. I will read about them one day for you. They stand up and defend themselves, you know. So let me show you all this. You know, I'm very passionate about the community of persons who are specially able, who have challenges, Down syndrome and otherwise. And I saw this music just brings the whole world together, and no matter what ability that you have, that you can always try and don't let it limit you to just what people say. So I saw this and I thought it was so beautiful. I hope it play when all these things is go. So that was, from what I see here, Sean Thompson, and he was playing for Valley Harps in the medium category. Big up and shout out to Mr. Thompson. You all remember Vera, the lawyer. She went, I think it was the Lakshmi Girls, if I'm not mistaken. She has no hands and she used her feet for everything. She was a lawyer in the Attorney General office under Anna Ramlover, and for whatever reason, she ride out from there. So that is just to show you that we can do it if we really try. Hi Malcolm, hi Andrew, hi Joy. So I just felt to bring that, fan is in the air, and that is some inspiration there. I'm also seeing, have some pan news. And what is this about? So, hello. This was in CNC3 and Guardian Media. And it says here, hey, it opening. 18 hours ago, 2 Tobago large bands qualified for Panorama semis. Tobago steel band spread was in full swing Wednesday night at the island's two large bands took center stage in the Trinbago's large conventional band preliminaries in Tobago. Judging at the Panyards began just after 8 p.m. with the NLCB Bacchanal Steel Orchestra delivering a high-energy performance of Dotish, Lorraine by Selvan Gomez. Following them, RBC Redemption Song Settlers captivated the audience with Flag Woman, arranged by Michael Toby. Both bands brought energy and precision, hoping to impress the judges and secure a spot in the next round. Judges assessed each performance based on arrangement, tone, rhythm, and overall presentation. In 2024, neither of the island's large bands secured a spot in the top 11 of the final competition, although they were both finalists. With their vibrant performances, however, Buccaneer and Redemption Song Settlers have pushed even harder this year to make it to the final rounds again. The official results of the preliminary rounds released by Trinbago yesterday, Buccaneer Steel Orchestra and Redemption Song Settlers both tied for 10th and 6th place respectively, scoring 269 and 271 with other bands. Leading the charge into the semifinals is Republic Bank Extenders, who secured the top spot with 276 points for their performance of Two Own Way. Close behind was First Citizen Supernova Steel Orchestra, who claimed second place with 275 points, playing Kokoti. BP Renegades Steel Orchestra and Tiantec Tropical Engine Harp Steel Orchestra tied for third with 273 points, performed Betia and Kokoti respectively. Massey's All-Star Steel Orchestra followed in fifth with 272 points, also playing Betme. And the medium conventional band preliminaries, Katsanjama Steel Orchestra leads the pack, heading into the semifinals, securing the top spot with 276 points for their performance of Line Excuses. In second place was NGC Kuva Joylander Steel Orchestra, earned 273 points with Cut the Bush, while Pamberry Steel Orchestra followed in third with 2 center points, playing Two Own Way. The semifinals are set for February 16th at Queen's Park, Savannah, which will be Sunday. For the preliminary results, large and conventional, so they have them all laid out here. So people come out on Sunday and come and support our art. Sorry about that, come out and celebrate the culture. I was also seeing, not to be left out, the young ones and in the Kaiso. You know them Kaiso in good hands, So remember when Krokro had sang Where Pan Reach? Well, we see Where Pan Reach is on the coat of arms. It's every 11th of August every year. United Nations has declared the 11th of August World Steel Band Day all over the world. The band is playing, and it is the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago, so pan reach. And it have more places to go. And of course, we have the government giving lots of money in grants for steel pan manufacturers. We have the manufacturing factory that does the pans and the sticks and accessories and all that. And the chrome company that used to chrome the pan that had burned down, they are back up and running. They got some funding from the government. So now, when they make the steel pans and the many manufacturers factory, it don't have to go away to be chrome. It could be chrome right in Trinidad now. So yeah, we go in places. So this was in the news there 16 hours ago. The San Fernando Carnival Committee crowned two South Junior Calypso monarchs in the primary and secondary schools category on Thursday, February the 13th. Former monarch, it have an accent from the age, so I don't know if it's ADN. Darius is a student of Savonette Private School. So the results from amongst five competitors with an optimistic and sobering message in her song, Calypso will survive to win in the primary school category. Jamaica, Jamaica Burnett of New Butler Associate College sang her way into the hearts of the judges with a powerful message to girls and women to know their worth and placed first in the secondary school category. Burnett of Point 14 was a clear winner from amongst the competing five in her category with her complete package consisting of melody, performance, lyrical content, and a potent message to young women that they do not have to underdress in order to impress. Oh, forgive me, I have something. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No, 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 no. In an interview after her winner, Burnett said the song was written by Khaled Hines and spoke to her experience, what she has seen in her family and amongst her female peers. I just wanted to get a message across to young women to value themselves and know their worth. Victory caught her by surprise. I was not expecting to win. I just came here to deliver a message, and that's it. The trophy just came along. I am grateful, Gwyneth said, a semi-finalist in Saturday's National Junior Calypso Monarch competition. Hopefully, she said, she will be selected as a finalist so as to have an even wider platform to share her message for empowerment. Although being on winner's row is not new, for 80-year-old Darius, who had been singing professionally since 2021, he did not believe that he had the title in the bag. Based on the quality of the contestants, I was not expecting to win. I was expecting to come second because Caitlin Sultan was very, very good. I want to say, good job, Caitlin. Sultan, a former Chutney Soca Queen winner, and Darius' schoolmate, sang Say a Prayer to place second in the primary school category. San Fernando East MP Brian Manning, who attended the show, urged all of you young people pursue your passion, do what makes you happy inside. He recalled that as an ex-schoolmate of Presentation College San Fernando, he recalled an ex-schoolmate at Presentation College San Fernando named Marshall Montano faced strong challenges from some who tried to steer him away from his passion. Marlin said everybody wanted Marshall to do something other than perform. They said that he would be a good doctor, so trying to course in biology, but he wanted to sing. Back then, Marlin said that was not the most popular career choice, and no one thought Marshall would be able to survive financially if he pursued his passion. But he was passionate and he worked hard, and today you all see what he has achieved. So pursue your passion, do what you truly love, and you will be shocked by the result. Before the show, the San Fernando Mayor Robert Paris recalled how impressed he was by the preliminary rounds of this competition and was not envious of the judges who had to select just five from each category for the finals. So I think I have a little something here of the little so ever confident winner. Let me see if I can find it here. Hi Donnell, hi Erica, hi Patricia. All the way in Virginia. Are you in Virginia or you don't come down for carnival? You here? What do you think? Eh, eh. Okay. I will take my time and scroll properly. One, two, one, two. People all day again, happy Valentine's Day to those who do celebrate Valentine's Day. I just thought I would dress the part, red Valentine's Day, but red is Bacchanal too, right? Hey, red is victory.
Well, that is a 90% of first place winner. Well done, young man, well done. Well done. Congratulations to you. First place winner 2025, Junior. So it's so tired. Ready and on a soul. Some people start crying. What I want is I want to let it go. I would never stop singing my soul. And you left my ticket and win for years in a row. I hope like I am dancing. I'll sing a joyful from heaven and sing I will sing by your light in you time. Shine by like I want. Once I am alive, so is alive. So you don't have to worry about tomorrow. So is alive. It is good and my peace follow. So is alive. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to be so alive. Thank you.
Right? Culture in good hands. Kaiso, Kaiso. I also see young brother whose greatest been over mashing up the place. It's sticking people head. I hear people saying that this song just stick in the head. They beat everything. What are you doing? Oh God, you can't help saying that, man. He also has a Calypso that I think is big yard thing. I will be surprised if he's in Calypso Fiesta on Saturday before. When Saturday was before next week or something, anywhere around there. But he has a really good Calypso that I think could make big yard. So he's multi-talented and very versatile. What are you doing? Yeah, so I wish him all the best. Also, Dr. Rowley would have just a minute. He would have today, it was, yeah. Dr. Rowley, the Honorable Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Keith Rowley has delivered a featured address at a Saturday ceremony for the construction of the new headquarters of the Elections and Boundaries Commission today. That would have been Wednesday. The proposed 6-story building situated at the corner of Lamy Street and Saddle Road in Sinclair will be on the site formerly occupied by the now demolished Sinclair police station. So that will give you an idea where that is going. The project would provide a centralized administrative facility for the EBC. Because the EBC is in high up Frederick Street, just a little below the the prisons when you're coming down Frederick Street. If you're walking up, it's just before the prisons. During his address, Prime Minister Rowley said the government decision for the EBC to have a new headquarters is a commitment to the democratic process. Dr. Rowley said the multi-purpose project, or the purpose, said that the purpose built project will create employment opportunities. The new Election and Boundaries Commission headquarters will offer the following: the consolidation of scattered EBC sites in one location, office space for over 218 people, an atrium, cashier, and meeting spaces, ground floor parking for 70 cars. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, the Honorable Stuart Young SC, delivered remarks, said over the last 9.5 years, the government did not build any vanity projects, but decided as a matter of priority where the taxpayers' money should be spent for buildings. He also congratulated the EBC on being resolute and independent. And then we also have, because I passed there today going on Tagrit Road where the printer used to be the corner of Tagrit and Victoria. Yes, I think that's Victoria Avenue. That is going to be the new Ministry of Social Development. So normally, when you want to come into town to go to social development, one part of the social development is on St. Vincent Street opposite the Magistrate Court, then it have one a little higher up, then it have one across Duke Street, and then it have one lower down and all over. So that is going to house also when you go into ministry, when it's finished and you go to Ministry of Social Welfare, now all the buildings are in one place. And that has reached a really completion will be not too far off in that. So that's another People's National Movement initiative for all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So people, let me go Tobago, quick, Bacchanal in the place. Zorisha Hackett going to sue or send some pre-action protocol letter to Senator Ansel Dennis, who is the leader of the Tobago PNM. So what's it about? Let me see what it's about. So let me open one of these things. So it says here, I intend to read no lengthy document at all. Pre-action protocol letter on defamatory statements made by social media posts on the 5th of February 2024. And it says, the letter is addressed to Mr. Dennis. With reference to the above subject matter, we have retained an act for and on behalf of Mrs. Zorisha Hackett of Scarborough, Tobago, thereafter referred to as client. She's the Secretary of Education in Tobago. Our client is the area representative for the electoral district of Bethshida, Lekito in the Tobago House of Assembly, thereafter called THA. She's also the secretary in the Division of Education, Research and Technology in the Tobago House of Assembly, thereafter referred to as DER Tech. I think she's highly overrated. I think she is highly overrated, that's my opinion. I don't think she qualified for them job, but then that is my opinion. Our client is a prominent person in the public life on the island of Tobago and within the sphere of governance in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. She's also a former educator. It is alleged, very secondary. It is alleged it had Bacchanal in that with some student and something it has been alleged. In her present portfolio of control is endued with responsibility for children and youth education and empowerment of the island of Tobago. Tertiary education is a critical issue under the direction. Oh, anyway, okay. So she seemed to be saying that Senator Ansel Dennis would have defamed she or she name or whatever in some post. So this is what Senator Dennis said. He said, living in your house, trying to raise your family in a law-abiding manner, 8 o'clock in the morning, bailiff calling you out your house to collect this rubbish. I will say this. 1, my courthouse closed, pressed and ready, and I have court of evidence, unlike the liar chief secretary. 2. This is another attempt to muzzle the dissent and criticism, just like they terrorized, threatened, and fired THA employees for simply reacting to social media posts that are critical of them. 3. Where in my post did I say that Zia Hackett was responsible for the construction of the Friendship Road? Is her name THA? Foolish much. 4. The secretary admitted through her attorney in this letter that approximately 40 students are awaiting support from the teacher, but did not indicate the ridiculously long delays in excess of a year in some instances, nor did she include those applications that were rejected for whatever reason. Plain smarted foolishness. 5. It's interesting that she did not respond to the claim about the favorite propagandist receiving over 100,000 to pay for studies at a foreign university. 6. I can find many reasons to truthfully label the secretary as irresponsible, AudioGate being the most well known. Therefore, I make absolutely no apology for what is being implied. 7. Up to me. I'll throw this letter in the garbage, but out of respect for our legal system, I've instructed my attorneys to respond most appropriately. So, in my opinion, them does want to tell you thing. Hi, Ruth friend, they just want to tell you thing. Get you talk, and when you answer them to suit, they just play victim. So I move on. So our next piece of Bacchanal here again. Father and them would have lost, let me put it this way, THA would have lost some matter they took to the Privy Council. Everybody love the Privy Council now, boy. For something for judicial review, something so on the laws that and nothing. It had to do. This was 18 hours ago in the Guardian. Privy Council rules Ministry of Finance needs to approve a BOLT agreement for THA. So the Tobago House of Assembly cannot lawfully enter, and let me read this again, the Tobago House of Assembly cannot lawfully enter into special financial arrangement for major construction projects using state funding without the permission of the Ministry of Finance. 5 law lords of the United Kingdom-based Privy Council stated the position earlier this week as they dismissed the final appeal. The whole thing fly up and down. The final appeal over an interpretation lawsuit brought by the THA. The lawsuit stems from a bill on lease transfer BOLT agreement signed by the THA in 2011 for a 142 million Shiv administration complex, Milshiv administration complex in Shiv, Tobago. The BOLT agreement are a form of non-debt-based financing where a client gives permission to a company to use its money to construct a facility on their land. The client then repays the construction cost by entering into a lease with the company for renting the facility for a prescribed period. Upon the completion of the lease, the ownership of the facility will be transferred to a client. Such arrangements are used to allow the client to fund the project using recurrent expenditure rather than an upfront lump sum payment. A judicial review claim was filed at the Attorney General's office after former Prime Minister Kamala Persad took issue with it in the run-up to the 2013 THA elections. The lawsuit was eventually converted to a statutory interpretation claim after the then Finance Minister granted retroactive approval for the Milshiv agreement. In 2014, former High Court Judge and current Appellate Judge Ronnie Guru Singh ruled that the THA did not need cabinet approval to enter into such financing arrangement. He also ruled that the BOLT arrangement still required a competitive tendering process under the Central Tenders Board, CTB, Act. In late 2019, the Court of Appeal overturned the decision and ruled that approval was necessary. In determining the final appeal this week, Lord David Lloyd Jones and Andrew Burrow agreed with the findings of the Court of Appeal after considering the provisions of the THA Act. They said, when the legislative provisions are considered in their entirety, it is clear that it did not empower the THA to commit the state to use of the funds for such large and long-term liabilities under a BOLT arrangement that is akin to borrowing from capital projects without the direction or control of the minister or cabinet and ultimately parliament. In the absence of cabinet or ministerial consent, before such commitments were entered into, Parliament would effectively be committed to very significant future expenditure in later years of which it was unaware and over which there would have been no oversight, they added. However, they admitted that the TH is permitted to enter into such an agreement provided that such would be funded through grants from international agencies and not the THA's annual budgetary allocation. They also pointed to Section 51 of the legislation, which provides the THA with a limited provision for overdraft borrowing and requires the minister's approval for loans. They said that a bolt arrangement achieves the same objectives of a loan. In the board's view, a bolt arrangement is akin to a borrowing for capital projects and yet circumvents the requirement under Section 51B for the approval of the minister, they said. The THA was represented by John Jeremy SC, Robert Strang, while Howard Stephen KC, and Daniel Goldbach represented the AG office. So what I get from this is that the THA wanted to borrow money on their own to build something, whatever, and they have to get permission from the Minister of Finance, and they would have took the legislation for judicial review, and the Privy Council upheld the decision of the appeal court in Trinidad that says that the THA has to get permission from the Ministry of Finance when they borrow money to do their projects, or if they have to borrow money. So let's move on. So there's less money for them. They must see. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I see that fishermen are still missing. I hope that they are found alive, and for the families who are out there waiting for their loved ones, my sympathy, my empathy, and prayers are with you. So it says here, Tobago men missing at sea, Albert James and Junior Tone. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is seeking the urgent assistance of the public in locating two missing men, Albert James, and Junior Tone. Albert James, 62 of Crown Point, Tobago, was last seen on February 10, 2025, heading to sea and was reported missing at Crown Point Police Station on February 11, 2025. He is of African descent, dark skin and complexion with a medium build. He has a bald head and bush eyebrows. Also missing is Junior Tone, 49 of Bonaccord, Tobago, who was last seen heading to sea in the company of Mr. James on February 10, 2025, and was reported missing at Crown Point Police Station on February 11, 2025. He is of African descent, dark brown in complexion, with a medium build. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Albert James and Junior Tone is asked to call the Crown Point Police Station, and they give the numbers there and put the photographs of the persons. All right, those are the two men missing, and I hope that they are found alive. So, people were talking about, oh my God, they go somewhere, church. I know they're going on, they're buying oil from Jamaica. And oh my God, we are the laughing stock. And I went through the whole thing. The refinery is what was closed. Petrotrin, the company, still a legal entity. Petrotrin was a refinery and exploration and production. So there were two sides or three sides of Petrotrin. Exploration and production is heritage. They still do what they have been always doing, exploring and producing petrochemicals and the downstream. And even when the refinery was refining crude, our refinery could, to make a profit, refine 140,000 barrels a day. We were only producing here because of decline in resources with oil 50,000 barrels. So we had to be buying every day about 90,000 barrels, something like that. So we have always been buying crude. So I don't know why people are so surprised. Oh my God, we're buying crude. Even when when the refinery was up, we were buying crude every day, right? To break even, to make some money. And because of the high wages being paid out, 54 point something percent, when other large refineries around the world, their benchmark is like 34, 35, 34, 40%, whatever it is. So, and then our refinery is very old, so they were losing money while even refining and all because of the state of the state of the refinery. So when they tell you, oh my God, we have always been buying crude oil. There's nothing new. And what we're buying from Petro Jamaica or Petro Jam, if that's the word, is simply the last thing from the crude when they done take out everything. Everything come out, whatever it is, that come down to a very, very thick, I understand, substance, and you have to put like some other chemical with it, whether gas or whatever, or oil or gas, whatever, to thin it a little, and that is used now for fuel, marine fuel. That's what it is used for. And that sometimes is hard to sell. So, and Jamaica refineries only refining about 38,000 barrels of crude compared to our 140,000 barrels. So, if, again, as I said, we are in a trade relationship with Jamaica, and it's an uneven because they buy millions of dollars of our exports in Jamaica. So we make millions of dollars from them, whereas their exports we do buy, but not as much. So it's an uneven um, trade relationship, and anything to do to help, for them to make more money and stuff. We're all part of CARICOM. We're all part of the SME. We're one family. So if we could buy that crude, it's not as if you could get gasoline from it, or you could get kerosene, or you could get the only thing that comes from that, because they have refined and taken out everything already from that, it has to be mixed with another chemical to get it a little loose so it could pass through the pipes and stuff and be stored. And it is only bunker, it's like a bunker fuel kind of thing. It's only for when them big ship and them come. And if we have a we have a space where these big ships are coming in, one coming one day it was, and we thought it was a building, but we said, but when that building built, and then we see people was like, what is a ship? It must have about 6 stories. So if we have all those coming in our space and stuff, and they will want fuel to, to boost them to go back on the journey where they're going and stuff. We making our money, so we buy from Jamaica. Jamaica make a piece of money, and we resell it. We make money too, like business. So it's a big deal. Anywho, just to show you that they're talking a set of foolishness, we have been we have always been buying oil, and we have not stopped exporting our gas. So we still big in the dance, right? So this was a couple of days ago. Excuse me. Wasn't looking is over. Please open. February the 6th is a little while back. I was reading, but I ended up forgetting, having stuff, so much thing doing. It says Trinidad and Tobago remains significant exporter of gas, diesel to the region. Despite the closure of Petrotrin Point of Pierre refinery, in November 2018, Trinidad and Tobago still exports significant volumes of gasoline and diesel to regional markets because I told you all there's the exploration and production side. We have heritage. So they're still doing exploration, they're still doing drilling, they're still doing, yeah, they're still doing business. The reassurance came via publication on the Energy Chamber's website on Thursday, that was back then, a couple of days ago. These are products. These are products that are imported into Trinidad by Paria Fuel Trading, stored and then re-exported, the chamber noted. Citing a graph of the imports, the chamber explained that it displays the net imports of gasoline and diesel, imports minus exports, as well as total exports. Right, they said the net import volume corresponds to how much fuel is sold in the domestic market. The chamber further pointed out that Paria can secure cargoes of fuel at more competitive prices than importers in smaller markets in the rest of the Caribbean because it can produce in larger volumes, leverage its relationship in market position. The company then makes a margin on the sale of the products to other markets, allowing it to earn foreign exchange and can be a profitable enterprise, it said. The availability of significant tankage in points up here also means that Paria can purchase fuel when prices are lower, store the products, and sell when prices are higher, the chamber said. The chamber also assured that this country could also earn additional revenue and foreign exchange from trading petroleum products by increasing the volume of storage tanks, developing new high value markets such as clean marine fuel, petroleum, and developing trading flows. So it's a business, and we don't have that sort of volume of oil and gas and stuff again. That is why we're looking at the Dragon and the Kakuna and the Lauren Manatee and all those other areas to tap into those reserves that we did not tap into before. But it's a business. We buy and import and sell back and resell and all that. It's business. So when they're telling all the foolishness about it, was not Petrotrin was making money just to pay back debts and to pay big salaries and recurring expenditure. That's why you want a company for to say you have a company. Reset time. Yes. So let me continue. Also, Minister Young would have said that TNT, this was in the Guardian 3 days ago. Hi, Carol. Hi, Daryl. I come to Bacchanal just now, you have a calm before the storm, that kind of thing. So 3 days ago, Young, Minister Stuart Young, Trinidad and Tobago continues to bet on energy sector. Amid challenging and uncertain global headwinds, TNT will attempt to leverage its current energy sector as a means to achieve and require energy transition and diversification needed in the future. This stance was reiterated by Energy Minister Stuart Young during his keynote address at the Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference, which was held at the Hyatt Regency. That was the date when this story was printed. Our energy sector is at a point of regeneration and regeneration with renewables becoming a part of the domestic energy mix. However, oil and gas are critical to our energy transformation by providing secure and affordable energy during the transition. We therefore are committed to the optimum exploitation of our hydrocarbon resources, despite calls in some quarters for the cessation of exploration in the industry. This has been vindicated by the decision of many of advanced petroleum economies who continue to offer blocks of exploration as well as decisions of energy companies to refocus their energy on oil and gas, said Minister Young, who acknowledged that there were several geopolitical issues which have impacted the sector and may yet affect it in the future. However, he said the energy sector remains the driver of the economy. He said Trinidad and Tobago, as a small oil and gas producer, will be impacted by these global trends. The global movement to clean energy has resulted in government taking steps to diversify and strengthen our energy sector. However, this has not been at the expense of oil and gas, which are the mainstay of our economy and will remain so for the foreseeable future. Our strategy has been to accelerate the exploitation of our oil and gas resources, which is in keeping with industry trends and market requirements. He explained the government will continue to shop the country's hydrocarbon resources via the bid round process, with details concerning the upcoming deep water bid round unveiled moments after his speech was concluded. The energy minister said the government is very much invested in the transition away from hydrocarbons, for which again stressed the transition is a costly process. Investments in clean energy is not insignificant. The Caribbean Development Bank noted that regional energy security will need scales of investment of minimum US 1.2 billion annually to achieve the region's goal of 47% contribution of renewables by 2030. As small island developing states, we are saddled with financial decisions to address our energy sector and resilience needs within our own unique context. Investments in these sectors require strategic international partnership with the public and private sector to unlock opportunities for clean, green energy. Given that transitional risk arising from carbon prices will materialize, it is important that domestic energy undertake or partner with government to reduce substan- substantiable substantially their greenhouse gas emission, he said. However, noted however, noted that in addition to the Brechin Castle solar plant, Project Lara Wind Energy is another renewable energy source that is being targeted. Through technical support of the European Union in collaboration with our state agency, National Energy, the Ministry of Energy is currently engaged in the conduct of an onshore wind resource assessment program aimed at producing bankable data to inform our future onshore wind auctions. So we are all up in it. And we are also one of the largest producers of, I think, ammonia and urea, if I'm not mistaken, in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't play, but they don't tell people them thing. Does make you feel as though nothing going right in this country. So coming out of that, there was some people meet up poll, and in people meet up poll, they asked, "Are you convinced that there will soon be a revival of this country's energy sector?" And the people meet up poll result was 36. 62% of the people asked agreed that they are convinced that there will be a revival of this country's energy sector, and 38% said they do not believe there would be a revival. 62, 38, the ayes have it, 62%. So people are not falling for the gloom and doom of the UNC. So let me continue Papayos. So I was now talking about gas, and this gas is the one that we extract from the soil. Excuse me. I'm going to talk about two people with gas, and that gas then passing it through an next part, but it does come through the mouth instead. So Leroy Baptiste, I'm not focused on what other union with he told that. Leroy Baptiste, again, is speaking about the monies, the increase in salaries to 900 plus senior public officers, along with politicians, whether opposition or government alike, the increases. And that is not just for them. Anybody else who comes in the position of opposition and government, and you're a member of parliament or a senator, or opposition senator, you will be entitled to those increases. So the SRC again did their work, because they come in a layman's sense, they come like the union for these 900 plus senior public officers, very senior public officers, which include permanent secretaries and deputy permanent secretaries and other heads of different departments. In 2013, I understand they came with the proposed increase in salaries for those category of workers, and it was rejected by Kanga Sessa and the then opposition. So the SRC went back, and it could only be rejected if they find the money not enough. So the SRC went back, and last year they would have come back again with, well, new increases, because it was accepted. And no matter what Kanga says, and they say she accepted too, because right now she's the highest paid politician in this country, right? And I don't think she deserves that salary at all. Wherever she gets in, I don't think she deserves it. However, the point is that it has been accepted by this government, so it was not accepted in 2013. So if you're I'm just saying, if you're not accepted now, so you're sending them back again to go back to increase it even more than this. So the point I'm making was accepted. So Leroy Baptiste has an issue with the money that the politicians and the 900 plus, which includes again the politician, has gotten. But the thing about it is, if in the morning he becomes, or he gets into the active politics, he's not going to refuse the money, but I'm going further. Leroy Baptiste, you see that gas here in passing through your ASS and coming through your mouth? Those study what the SRC get for politicians and the senior public officers. You and the PSA, nobody voted for you. And up to now, we can't know your salary. It is alleged it's $50,000 a month. That's what it is alleged. It is alleged that your lunch bill every day is $500 a day. Because they say you love, it is alleged, you love the seafood, you love the basmati rice, you love the big boy coconut water and the vegetables and the oysters and the lobsters and all that. It's we $100 every month paying, and we can't know how much is your salary. How you're entitled to that? Who it is give authorization for you to get a salary? In fact, who authorized you to get any salary at all in the PSA when nobody voted for you? So you should be the last person to open your ASS and pass gas out to MOUTH to talk about anything with money. Rock, so you is a next Kobo, a labor Kobo. You wouldn't leave. You retire from WASA. You get your money. You come in the PSA, nobody vote for you. When you're 60 years old, you went and you changed. The constitution says you can stay longer to get money that we need to know. You didn't even want a whole meeting inside PSA because you not want to confront. Why you would say you want a confrontation? It's because you know you're doing the wrong things. So hush your AASS or ARSE, and better you're holding that gas instead of letting it out through your mouth for all of you to smell the SHIT. Because you ain't making no sense. Because your salary, it is a lot big, and we ain't approve it. It didn't come before General Council. The SRC is the body that has been delegated by the Constitution at Trinidad and Tobago to look after these people and their salaries. And if it is, that is what they went on based on they having evaluation of the jobs they do and whatever method they're using. It is what it is. Why you, Leroy Baptiste and Felicia Thomas, why only make sure that a proper evaluation was done of the public service so that we could change that method of negotiating for our increases in salary from the index price methodology, retail price index methodology. Why all they do that? But all they don't know nothing about the public service because all they from WASA. All they know about is WASA. That is all their business. So we evaluation stop. So you can watch what them getting when them had the evaluation done. Not only that, You say on a platform that the PSA will not be negotiating with this government. You will not be meeting with the CPO. So now I tell you, hush your ARSE. You will tat ahead, dirty looking, stinking kobo. I say so. Because you have public officers, PSA members suffering. Because you wouldn't go and do the work that you come through the back door. You like to come in the back. You like it by the back. I just asking a question. So I don't want to hear you. That's my opinion. All they go and tell him I say so he's a labor kobo. Nobody votes him. He knows nothing but the public service. And he drag us into politics just like Duke, Watson Solomon Duke, who he was right under. Is that a man who is hip bone? I don't understand that at all. So we don't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing from you because I didn't vote for you. And I'm a paying member of the PSA still. But I'm paying my money because I'm waiting for August, for March the 10th for the PSA election to vote for Felicia Thomas and a bunch of incompetent neophyte, never see consummate dunce that it have in the PSA right now to vote the ARSE out. Let a team that could run PSA properly will go and sit down and do the work of the members who paying them because they will be our employees. And that is Nixon, Bennett, Kalinda, and the PSA United Sentinels. Not Oral Sanders, disingenuous, no character. I say so, that's my opinion. Because you went and call up my name, all kind of thing about my character. I asked you a question, you can't answer yet. Yeah, your dream is to be PSA president, you go only be a dream in truth. You go never, N-E-V-E-R, me, Jennifer Frederick, say that you will never be the president of PSA. You're too nasty. You're a dirty, stinking D-O-G. I say so. If I had respect for you, I lost none, and I don't want you to have none for me. Because people like you, people should stay far from. He's a jibber, that's my opinion. He's a leech, that's my opinion. He's a loafer, that's my opinion. Based on the things I see about you. Send me a letter to give an opinion. I know you know. Whatever you feel about me, you could say it. Me business, because I have no cocoa, no son. I wonder if you have. So let me continue. So we don't want to hear about them. If they were doing the right thing, PSA was doing the right thing for public officers, we don't get the matter settled a long time. Because Watson Group 2019 come and tell me the Minister of Finance offered him a settlement for the period 2014-16, but he's not looking at it now. We understand it was a 9% increase in salary for the period 2014-16. But he was all up in politics and that red, dirty, stinking Kobo, Labour Kobo, Leroy Baptiste, was right there with Duke. He wasn't encouraging Duke to settle nothing because they want to be politicians. Nasty, stinking man. Bacchanal Friday. Dirtiness. All you say is you're the next one looking like Papa Smurf. He from yesterday, he didn't looking at one way. Today, the man looking. All you see Roger looking. Next blasted Labour Kobo, in my opinion. Let me continue. Bacchanal Friday. Dirty, stinking rich on them. Anyways, Kamala Prasad, she don't have a choice but to take the money. Why didn't take it in 2013? It wasn't enough. But you didn't have a choice now, you're taking it because it's plenty now, went. We call it rock, so it's all the shoppiness there. So people look Bacchanal here now. Oh God, just think of red tatterhead, dirty, stinking. Ugh. All they go and tell him I say so. He's a worthless, stinking, dirty, red, so and so. Coming to PSA and all. Wait, you do nothing for PSA. You find I vile? Yes, I vile. As a jammet too. I vile because I'll answer you to suit you, old stinking bitch. A vile as a jammet. I come out today. All this so could I go wrong, Elmer Francois and Daisy Cook and all of them. You could have go wrong them, so. Hey, so people, let me get into some drama. So I see somebody write February 12 in Daily Express. Well, look at Roger now. Let me see if I can get Roger proper here. Roger go home now. They're telling me but I must go my old and wheelchair and my teeth and all. All they tell Roger go home. All that's I'm out for woman, all they I'm out for man. All they tell Roger go home. Roger looking bad. It's he deeds. That's my opinion. It's he deeds. You can tell me how Roger comes to in just a year? Oh gosh, boy, what do you think? First there is Jumbie. I tell them it's Labor Kobo, you know. Labor Kobo, political volunteers, ink prostitutes. I wanted to take a good picture, you know, but the camera, I feel afraid my camera crack, yes. So it says here, in looking at the two major political parties preparing for the upcoming general election, that is that somebody write this, right? I cannot help but make comparisons. The People's National Movement congregation and flood of red at Balizé House with hums of excitement and triumphant sounds of exuberance. After competitive screening contrasts remarkably with that what I see at UNC screening. There's a dull, dreary air about the rental facility of UNC called their home in Central. The mood seems grim and the body language of supporters and activists betrays a type of false optimism, eyeing a goal which they feel may be too distant to grasp. In contrast with the PNM screenings, the UNC process and mood seems more reminiscent of a weak than a resurgent party ready to retake the reins of power. I just see when the gilded gate come up beside the cess of the floor. See me in my mind. That is a read. I just saying. In the midst of this, I saw the announcement of the new UNC coalition comprising of PEP, Progressive Empowerment Party, OWTU, Oilfield Workers Trade Union, and LOV, Laventil Outreach for Virtual Enrichment. This is a far cry from the mighty coalition which toppled the PNM in 2010 with the COP, Congress of the People, bringing in about 200,000 votes, and credible personalities such as Winston Ducker and David Abdullah at the table. Instead, we have individuals such as Philip Alexander, whose name I now associate with a highly insensitive and inappropriate "these people had to bomb" statement, referring to the death of MP Lisa Maureen Julian and her children in the tragic fire. Given past stinging criticism by the UNC, of the UNC by Philip or by Alexander, which displays on social media, I will assess the PP is more of a liability for the UNC than an asset. When I saw a coalition of unions joined with the UNC, I couldn't help but ask myself, where was the MSJ Movement for Social Justice, which was formed to be the political vehicle to represent these unions? The OWT is not a political party, and one wonders what political capital it brings to the table. Roger himself has been a past ardent critic of the UNC. The unions represented by the MSJ were the first to pull out of the UNC coalition government in 2012, and Roger himself went to war with the UNC in respect meted out to the labor movement and workers of the country. As a unified political entity, the MSJ was not successful at the polls, so I am yet to be convinced of the viability of disjointed fractions in this so-called coalition. The Love political party does not even generate a credible Google search and may just be another empty political vessel appended to the UNC to give a facade of unified front. In reality, the UNC is a fractal and fighting for its base and its very existence. Widespread dissatisfaction abounds as the fate of the dissident continues to hang in the balance. There is a strong sense that the UNC has lost its way and may be too far gone to come back now. It is further challenged by new parties fighting for its base, such as Michaela's Pandey Patriotic Front and Guy Griffith's NTA, National Transformation Alliance. The UNC seems to be relying on the same model which it rode into power 15 years ago. However, The political landscape and dynamics have changed. Calmer mania has gone stale, and many within the outside of the party wants to see the back of the UNC's political leader. The PNM has shown it can be a formidable force and capable of reinventing and reinvigorating itself. Sometimes the UNC, something the UNC has been unable to do. Only time will tell, but in my assessment, based on what I have observed, this empty UNC partnership is yet another doom coalition of nothing. So that was the editorial there by Vishal Nandial from Carrick, China. Hey, Olga, let me read this letter from Roy Rabir. Then it's better to Roy go and join the UNC. He done join already. That piece of red trash, that dirty stinking red man, he done join already. Let her cut up my video and have me talking all over because I would have loved to cut up my video with me ranting and talking about something wrong with you. Nothing wrong with me. What all I can understand, all us have problem with, and because I just call it as I say, Leroy Batista saying it again if they want to cut it. It's a dirty stinking red. Watch your mouth. Who has brought nothing to PSC. He came in there. You don't know how much his salary is. I say again, we get is $50,000 a month. He have expensive tastes. He driving Range Rover. Who paying for that? He bringing all kind of people in PSA to work who we know nothing about. It ain't having general council meeting. He take out from on the agenda other matters. So when he talk and that dumb BITC, yes, I'm saying it. Dumb as a doorbell. First vice president. When them done talk, that is it, nobody can say nothing. Imagine them have a team called Sacrosanct. Anybody just call any team Sacrosanct? She pregnant or don't make the baby or making the baby or maternity, whoever it is, but you put up yourself for president of PSA. You was there. You ain't do nothing because you can't do nothing. You're dumb. You're dumb. Dumb. Only weave. Dumb. But you want to be president with that team? But, when it comes to union, when it comes to PSA and the union, okay. I just say it, we in business, So you don't know what UNC already? It is alleged. And no, it's an alleged because he say he meet with the UNC and he started to meet with the opposition already, so he with them. So let me continue. Papa, they have this one, either's Rugby, I'm gonna read the letter. I gone and watch all the telling me and they threw me off, yes. So Roy Rugby, he write a letter. Hold you. I want to stay all night with this thing. So let me read the letter. Thursday, 13th of February 2025 is on parliamentary stationery. Dr. Rai Ragbir, MP, Member of Parliament for Komoto Mansalina. He says here, it is with deep disappointment that I announce I will not participate in the UNC screening process for re-election as a Member of Parliament for Komoto Mansalina. After careful reflection, I can no longer sign myself with a party. I can no longer align myself. Remember, the writing smaller, so stress. I can no longer align myself with a party that has abandoned its principles, rewards mediocrity, shields those accused of wrongdoing, and punishes integrity. I refuse to submit myself to a screening committee that includes individuals currently charged with wrongdoing, embroiled in court cases involving mismanagement of public funds at the EMBD, allegedly linked to gang activity, and even one individual who has serious allegations of human trafficking to answer. Serving my constituents has been the greatest privilege of my life, but I can no longer serve under a leadership that prioritizes personal loyalty over public service. A leadership that stifles dissent, rejects accountability, and has transformed the UNC from a political party into a personality cult, devoted entirely to the worship of Kamala Persad-Bissessor. You remember I always said earlier about projection, right? You remember there was always said that Dr. Key Christopher is a tyrant and all that, and da, 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 da. You see what I was projecting, how they feel about themselves? You hearing it there now? Hey. Last year, when I voted in favor of whistleblowers legislation to protect public funds, particularly within institutions like the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, I was met with hostility, alienation, and silence. This legislation was also basic accountability, yet accountability is not welcome in Kamala's UNC. Under her leadership, the UNC has become a hollow shell, driven by divisive rhetoric, empty theatrics, and relentless internal purges. This is no longer the party founded by the late Basil Pandey. Kamala's UNC does not tolerate independent thought. Dissent is met with smears, backroom sabotage, and expulsion. Instead of building a team based on competence, she has surrounded herself with sycophants. Yes, men and women whose only qualification is slavish devotion. Kamala has allowed party messaging to be shaped by conspiracy theories, attacked a former US president in one of her many unhinged press releases, and promoted racial dog whistle like term Oreo cup. She has further degraded the party by embracing reckless social media troll Philip Edward Alexander. These are not the actions of a serious leader. They are not the they are the desperate tactics of someone clinging to power at all cost. Meanwhile, dedicated, competent members like Russian Pare, Anita Haynes-Alin, and Dinesh Ramboli, amongst the party best and brightest, are being sidelined, while those accused of corruption, mismanagement, and even links to criminal elements remain untouched. The hypocrisy is staggering. How can the UNC demand accountability from the PNM while refusing to practice it internally? Kamala has led the UNC to 2 consecutive election defeats and about 20 other defeats. Internal election, by election, all kind of election. Kamala has led the UNC to 2 consecutive election defeats, each time refusing to take responsibility. Under her leadership, the party has offered no real solution to crime, no vision for economic recovery, and no strategy to rebuild public trust. Instead, it has become a permanent opposition consumed by infighting rather than governance. While the country suffers, crime spiraling, institutions crumbling. The only institution I see crumbling, Dr. Rai Rugby, is the UNC. The UNC under Kamala remains directionless, divided, and incapable of winning power. This is not a UNC that once inspired me to serve. The party founded by the late Basil Pandey was built to unite, to govern, and to uplift the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, it is a rudderless organization hijacked by a leader who refuses to step aside despite repeated failures. A party that has forsaken its purpose in favor of self preservation. What has been the party's purpose? I want to ask Dr. Rugby. My commitment to the people of Komuto Manzalino remains firm. I will continue to fight for equality and justice, but I cannot do so under a UNC leadership that has lost its moral compass and is more interested in protecting the corrupt than serving the people. Sincerely, Dr. Rai Rabir. This is Kamala's response to Roy Rabir. Dr. Roy Rabir. I just want to know when they realize all these things about Kamala Persad-Bissessor. Yesterday, day before, 2010, 2015. When? Hey. Kamala said no one cares as rugby bows out of UNC screening. And the disrespect with Kamala continues, but they look for that. No one cares. That was United National Congress leader Kamala Persad-Bissessa's dismissive response yesterday after so-called dissident MP Dr. Rai Rugby pulled out of party screening for his Kamuto Manzolino seat because he could no longer associate himself with the party under Persad-Bissessa's leadership. When did the stench get too much, Dr. Rugby? I can no longer align myself with the party that I said all that already. I mean, I'm going through reading all them kind of thing. I want to hear what she said. Explain that you experienced and if somebody said I voted. Oh, I just want to hear what she said. So apparently all Kamala said is basically who cares? Nobody cares about you, boy. That's how much they think of you. So let me continue. So now I call this gentleman Hellboy. I think he looks like Hellboy. Looks like I didn't say he is. And people will find I look somehow kind of how. So I could find people look a kind of how too. And I think he looks like Hellboy. So this is what Hellboy has to say. And he's one who was Mr. Drag the coffin all over Trinidad, go all in front of the president's house and all that. And he was also the one stand up against corruption done by Bayram. No, Megru, not Bayram, Megru. He just looks to me as though he consumes Bayram. Again, that's my opinion. Corruption down in that corporation, and next thing you hear, everything nice with everybody, and he down there. So I don't. So this is Hellboy complaining.
Blessings to all. Let me first say Happy Valentine's Day to those who celebrate Valentine's Day. I saw on a chat that today they're going to screen 5 seats for my party, United National Congress. And I also saw on that same chat that there's a cultural event that will commence around 3:45, following which after the screening process will start. I wonder if my party really serious about governance, because you are saying to me that we're going to eat and drink and be merry. And when we done eat and drink and we merry, we're going upstairs in headquarters to conduct a screening exercise to select 5 persons suitable to run this country. So we're going and eat and drink and have a time. And when we done eat and drink and have a time, we go upstairs and we sit down and we select 5 suitable persons to run this country. I think the people, whoever advising my party, the UNC, should be fired immediately, because you cannot tell me something as serious as a screening process, that we will have a cultural event where we go in and eat and drink and be merry. And then we're going upstairs to make sober judgments to select 5 candidates that is suitable to run this country. This is what, let me tell you something. This is what we're going to convince the marginal seats to vote for. We're going to convince the marginal seats that we're serious about governing this country. That is what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do, UNC and the leaders of the UNC. That is what we're going to do. Added to that, when we done eat, drink, and be merry, and we go upstairs, 5 individuals going to be screened. They also on the screening committee. So we eat, we drink, and we be merry, and we go upstairs and we screen ourselves. You screen me and I screen you, and we have a real cultural activity. Let me tell you something. This has to be the biggest circus This had to be the biggest circus performance that I am witnessing in my party for the longest time. So there's no other day for screening. We want to have the cultural show, so we don't have no other day for screening. So we go in and eat, drink, and be merry, and then we go upstairs and we make sober decision. Yeah, this will convince the marginal voters, the seats that we want to win this election. This will convince them that we, the United National Congress, we are very much serious about governance. I go on. Daddy, that.
I want to tell Hellboy. You see me? Mr. Victor Roberts, that's my affectionate name for Hellboy. Hellboy is a big star. You fantasizing. You live in a dream world where your party and your party, them tell you accept any party. The fundamentals, in my opinion, of the UNC changed from the days of Bala Saga Maraj and the DLP and the PDP. Come right down to SDLP. And this farmers, something, agriculture, something. And then it had Club 88, and then it had, I think, ULF first, then Club 88, then UNC. The philosophy has never been a national party, so I don't want to follow let's not fall up in the People's Party. And to add credence what I was saying when I used to always be saying that the back in the day they used to go the Indian intellects, and they used to go to the temples and the mandiris and speak to the devotees and tell them, basically, some of them that, African people don't like them. Well, of course, the Negroes don't like them and preaching that kind of thing to the head is we against them, that kind of thing, and we for we and them for them and that kind of thing. It has been reinforced when I heard Vijay Maharaj when he said he's going to instruct his pundits and they're not to allow is the UNC to come into the temples and places and whatever to talk nothing, no politics, nothing. So it tells me that when I told that those things is happening, it really is happening, and it was happening all the time. But there seemed to be some falling out and some disaffection between Vijay Maharaj and the UNC now and the behaviors. Yeah, and it came from when Jolene John would have mentioned Minister Siojong and his brother, whose grandmother and mother of they are Muslim, because Hossein, you must know the difference. Singh is Hindu, Hossein and Khan is Muslim, Ram Logan and Ram Lochan and those things are Hindus. So you know the difference, and you have to be sensitive to it. But again, Jolene John she have to perform for the UNC, for the Hindus in the UNC to see, I want to I could get on, I could get on, I'm giving my opinion. I could get on, and she would have mentioned, when she mentioned Minister Young and his brother's name, she put a Hindu name and the Mahasabha leader, and he's correct. What is dragging Hindu name into that for when they are Muslim? Why you ain't call them? Call Muslim names and all that, and actually they're free. And then after that, now Khadija went to one of the Hindu schools and was taking pictures with the children and whatever, and he found it to be offensive. And he's correct too. You have to get permission to take out people's children pictures and have it posted up all over the place, especially showing the face. There's laws against that. That's why we have the Train Authority and all that. So he seems to be in a state where and then before his father died, the father would have told Kamna Prasad Bisa, so if you like eat where you drink, where play the ass all over the place, blah, 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 and think that you'll get Hindu vote. The Hindu votes, he said he was going to free up the Hindu votes and telling the Hindus, vote for whatever party they feel will do the best for them. So it seems to be continuing. So I'm saying all this to say, this ideology that they're talking about the UNC have, and thing was never no national nothing, in my opinion. The UNC has always been a Hindu party, and they continue in the lines of, because they're very traditional. Continue, even as a band, yes, you would have had people of African descent and thing, because you can't have a party with only one race of people in it. It's really not going to look good. So here what? They'll bring in some Negroes, my opinion, and make it look as whatever. But the Negroes have never been able or allowed to be the leader of the party. I know, and it has been said, I think it was Mr. Rafik Shah would have written and said that the US will never have basically no African leader. Never. So what that tells you it's not a national party. Whereas the People's National Movement has always had pure African, and Dr. Eric Williams wasn't pure African, and now we have Minister Stuart Young, who is of Indian and Chinese heritage. So who is a more national party? So anywho's Hellboy have a problem because Hellboy is saying that they go in and lime and eat and drink first. And then they're going to do the screening. And I think it's the 5 people who screening, the 5 of them on the screening committee. What the hell are you hearing here? Debt collectors looking for Mudilal. It appears that Mudilal owing money, and debt collectors all down in front of the parliament. Well, that is embarrassment. All in front of the parliament looking about. Whoa. Let me see if I can get out playful here.
New there is a target of an opposite MP's debt to retrieve over $600,000 of their clients.
The MP explains the funds in question are from an international church and says he's been pleading the state for assistance.
Doris Polo has the story. It was last Wednesday, 2 debt collectors from Credit Checks Limited who were spotted standing near Woodford Square obliquely opposite the Red House left when they were approached by CNC3 News. But we later discovered that they were staking out Oropouche East MP Dr. Rodal Munilal, who was accused of owing a principal of $681,146.47 to one of their clients. CCL was contracted in November last year after Munilal failed to pay their client for goods imported into TNT in January 2023. The items have remained at the Point Lisa's port since, and attempts to reach him via calls to his office and couriered letters were unsuccessful. CCL sources claim the calls were not forwarded by the MP's staff and the letters were returned. In his defense, Dr. Munilal stated he was trying to help a church import supplies for the poor and destitute. He says the items were shipped free of charge by Christ-centered ministry My Sea Hope Inc. According to the organization's website, it aims to provide for the spiritual and physical needs of people throughout the Caribbean. A letter sent by Dr. Munilal to the Director of Budgets in February 2023 revealed the items ranged from clothing, shoes, beds, linens, mosquito netting, hygiene kits, appliances, and other allegations.
That song just come to me. Teacher, so the needy people over here and more long waiting for. Oh, they think it right here. Let me find. I had this here. I hope I have it. Oh gosh, please, please let me have it. Let me have it. Let me have it. Nope, nope. It was a response from one of the oh gosh. I'll just give me a minute. Give me a minute, give me a minute. Oh gosh, what do you think? I'm scrolling just two more. And if I get, I'm moving on. You think it's off? So that happened. Let me see if I find it here. He owed money and the people wants the money. Right. This is Suzette Lowy, that is what it says in a picture. She's some kind of thing, you and me, and whatever, whatever. She said here, the deputy political leader of the UNC, while the purpose, if true, might be noble, I have several questions here. One, how could you agree to have goods shipped if you do not have the means to take possession of the goods? These goods could have been used for other needy causes whom you have now deprived of this help. Two, what assurance did you give the shipper in order for them to ship these goods to you? I ask because this speaks of your trustworthiness or lack. This speaks of your trustworthiness or lack thereof. Three, did you contact these suppliers using your office as MP and DPL, that is Deputy Political Leader of the UNC? If so, you have directly tarnished the reputation of the UNC. Miss Lady, anything could tarnish again the reputation of UNC. All really, no. What I know for a fact is, not one politician gives charity from their own pocket. They are always promising to return favors if persons finance their charitable events. Okay. So I would like to know if Dr. Munilal was hoping to have the duties and taxes paid for by financiers, and this did not materialize. If so, it would be dishonest to represent a trade agreement to the shipper that was not already in place. Like one of the one peoples. So here the next Bacchanal. Now, if that ain't good enough, new developments has come out against Dr. Rudan Mulilal with regards to the MBD. New claims. Oh God, oh, excuse me. Let me see if I get it here for you. Let's take it easy. CN TV6. State accuses Mulilal of acting as shadow director in EMBD case. Ooh. This was in the Express, as I said. 14 hours ago, 2 minutes read. It says here, former Housing Minister Dr. Rudan Mulilal has been accused of acting as a shadow director of the Estate Management Business Development Company Limited, EMBD, in the state's amended statement of case against a group of contractors and Mulilal. On Tuesday, Justice Francie Prasad was informed to expand claims against the defendants as detailed in the amended statement of case. The court documents in the civil claim cites Mulilal as EMBD shadow director, alleging he provided instructions to two senior EMBD officials regarding the award of contracts and payment of funds. The claim accuses Mulilal and the contractors of being corruptly involved in cartel arrangements. The amended statement of claims include a schedule listing individuals and entities allegedly associated with Mulilal and or the United National Congress that receive substantial payments from EMBD contractors. The court document asserts that these payments or the benefits associated with them constituted secret commission received by Mulilal, thereby breaching his fiduciary duties and obligations to the public under the Integrity in Public Life Act 2000. Furthermore, the state claims that Munilal initiated and or was instrumental in launching a Caroni Rose project despite being aware of EMBD's poor financial position. The state further alleges that Munilal recommends to the cabinet that Munilal recommended to the cabinet that the project be undertaken and played a key role in the securing finances for the Caroni Rose project through a loan of $400 million from First Citizen Bank. Election campaign services. The state also claims that Munilal was asked to assist in promoting EMBD's official to a senior position, which was achieved, and that this individual subsequently received instructions from Munilal concerning contracts and payments. The amended claim states that Munilal instructed this EMBD's official to deliver checks payable to certain EMBD contractors to him for onward transmission to them. Additionally, it is claimed that Munilal conveyed instructions for the payments of certain contractors on the eve of the 2015 general elections. The amended case includes a schedule of individuals and entities that were purportedly associated with Munilal or the UNC, either because they provided election campaign or other services to the UNC. It stated that between August and September 2015, a payment of $12.9 million was made to an individual through 19 payments from 4 EMBD contractors. The court document states that this person indicated he understood the payments were made by relevant EMBD contractors for sums owed by the UNC for production services, including the creation of television advertisement, provided during its election campaign, and that it did not know the basis upon which the payments were made. It claimed that of these 3 sums, the individual paid $904,637 to a former advisor of then Prime Minister Kamala Prasad for consultancy and liaison officer services. The case further states that $11.4 million was paid to another individual through 18 payments from the same 4 EMBD contractors, and that EMBD had no knowledge of this person and was unaware of any legitimate explanation for the payments made to him. The person subsequently paid significant sums to various individual entities operating in event-related and supporting industries, including event planning and organization, supply of audiovisual services, mobile power generation, structure and scaffolding, equipment rentals, communication, and talent, according to the claim. The majority of the payment listed were made to about 6 named individuals and 2 companies. Remember, Dr. Roy Ragby talked about corruption and earlier. I reading what the people put there. Let me read this one here now. Hey! Earlier, no. No, all they're doing now. All they're doing now. So this is in Trinidad Express. Munilal, contractors face new corruption claims. This is shorter, so I hope I'm not replicating, but I want to read everything. Fresh allegations of corruption and financial impropriety have been brought by the Estate Management and Business Company, EMBD, in its multi-million-dollar cartel claim against a group of contractors and former ministers of housing, Dr. Rula Munilal. On Monday, the state agency filed its defended statement of case in the lawsuit that has to be heard by Justice Francis Prasad. Essentially, the company, in its new allegations, is claiming payments made by some of the defendants' contracting companies to third parties who it claimed were connected to Munilal and United National Congress. Such payments or benefits associated with them constituted secret commission received by the first defendant, Munilal, in breach of his fiduciary duties and his duties to the public under the Integrity in Public Life Act 2000. The amended statement said. During Monday's hearing, attorneys for the defendants said the company should not have been allowed to amend its claim given the period of time that the matter had already been pending before the court. In response to the objections, however, the judge pointed out that while the matter was filed only 7 years ago, it would have been pointless to have the EMBD file the amended claim prior, given that there was a procedural appeal before the Privy Council, which was only resolved last year. Justice Sipasai stated that while the first case management conference has only taken place in 2025, given that the claim was filed in 2017, he intended to move forward with the trial in an efficient manner. The judge went on to set timelines for the defendants to amend their defenses in light of the fresh allegation raised by MBD and adjourned the matter to May the 27th. The substantive lawsuit centers around 12 contracts for the rehabilitations of road and infrastructure granted to 5 contractors before September 2015 general election. 3 of the contractors, TN Ramnath and Company Coal Limited and Mutilal Ramhit and Sons contractors, had initially initiated proceedings against EMBD for almost 200 million owed to them on their respective contracts. EMBD eventually countered and sued the contractors, claiming they, as well as contractors Fadais and Namalco, conspired together with Munilal, former EMBD CEO Gary Pamasar, divisional manager Madhu Baru, and engineer Andrew Walker to corruptly obtain contracts. It further claimed the defendants had received preliminary payments for the works that was exorbitantly overpriced and standardized and substandard. The MBD is now seeking to recover 275 million in addition to interest, as well as a series of declarations from the court against the defendants, including one on the legality of contracts. In its amended case, the EMBD claims Mundilal served as a shadow director of the company, as its former official reported to him and took instructions from him. It also claims that former minister breached his fiduciary duties, as well as those under the Integrity in Public Life Act. Here Kamala responds to that. You know that she just remind me of Jezebel, Mother Halat. Somebody could remind me of something, right? So this is what Kamala had to say. And because of what she had to say, Dr. K. Christopher Rowley had to have a press conference today. Excuse me. So this was in The Guardian. 19 hours ago, opposition leader backs Munilal despite EMBD's latest allegations. As our Poach MP, Dr. Ruda Munilal, prepares for screening today, and remember, Hellboy just released 5 of them for screening, 5 of them on the same screening committee. They're having a cultural show first, and then they're going upstairs and then do the screening. As our Poach MP, Dr. Ruda Munilal, prepares for screening today, opposition leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessa has described the latest allegations against him in the Estate Management and Business Development Company Limited multi-million-dollar cartel lawsuit as a political witch hunt and waste of taxpayers' money. Really. Speaking to Guardian Media after attending the funeral of former chairman Pentram Suku, Prasad-Bissessa threw her support behind Dr. Munilal, saying that the latest allegation were fabricated and will not debar him from facing the party screening committee. Of course not, after some drinks and all that, everything looks clearer now. I am of the view that they continue to fabricate and make up as they go along. You remember she said the same thing about Piaco Airport corruption, when it was their own AG who would have brought down forensic accountant Bob Lindquist to this country because of the massive corruption in Piaco Airport. You remember she said it was a fraud, the biggest fraud, but people make jail and pay back money and all kind of thing in it, and never see a fraud and a hoax where people pay back money and make jail on the big US of it. Let me continue. I am of the view that they continue to fabricate and make up as they go along. What they have put in the case has been rubbished, And now they are scrambling to find something else, which is total nonsense. It has not been rubbish. Colonel Prasad says, stop lying. The latest claim was filed on Wednesday by EMBD in the lawsuit which involved Motilal contractors and executive 10 years after the initial multi-million-dollar cartel claim was brought to court. And you all remember, it's not a criminal case, it's a civil suit. It's a civil matter that the state brought against to defend the people of Trinidad and Tobago to get back the money. Just like when they went back to the with OAS, who come and then remove the clause from the contract, they take back the $1 billion and write out, and this government and they came in when Mulan said, hey, going behind that money don't make no sense, everybody spend too much money, whatever, and the government continued, went to arbitration court and we get back the $1 billion. Okay, right. That was civil too. Dismissing the allegation yesterday, Pasabi Center said, where in the world do you hear of a shadow director? Come now, man. Oh, who is ugly? Who is David Liddy man and Melinda? He's not the shadow minister energy. Come up Pasabi says, oh God, man. Not everybody that's drink, you know, not everybody that smoke, you know. Cigarettes, you know. Whoever heard of a shadow director, it is just fabrication. At the end of the day, they keep making allegations. Won't finish the case and will drag it out until after the election. They have no plans, no delivery, no legacy. Really, no legacy? 56 years? I think not all infrastructure built in this country is People's National Move. Legacy? Point Lisas? Ding ding! Medial instant minimally across the Caroni Bridge. Well again, but Parity Bus Route? Ding ding! Twin Towers? Ding ding! Hyatt? Ding ding! I can go on and on. Equivalent Medical Complex? Ding ding! San Fernando General Hospital, ding ding, Point 14, ding ding, San Fernando, ding ding, Port of Spain General and the new wing going up there and almost finished, ding ding, those are legacies, come now, come now, come now, free education for all, ding ding, NIS, old age pension, when you reach 65, even if you never work in this country, NIB, People's National Movement. No legacies. What has UNC ever done to this country and brought to this country? Nothing. Corruption. Ding ding. Mulan has been the center of corruption allegation since 2015 after the PNM took office. Well, it's not we alone saying that all in corruption. No. Dr. Rabir said it. Philip Alexander said it. Papa Snow said it. That is the Labour Kobo. We name Roger. He said it. Abdullah said it. Who is it is Gary Griffith said it. Who is it is who forget to say it. Anyhow, she says she's a lawyer and they have no evidence or case against Dr. Mulan. She's a lawyer, but what cases have you ever won? You give yourself silky. I've never won anything of substance because even what's the name? Israel would have said give back yourself, the inner bad won't recognize you. Meanwhile, Mulan compared his situation to the United States President Donald Trump. Oh, hell no. Say it isn't so. Say you didn't just go there. Come on, man. All Israeli is the one that's go low in truth. He said Trump faced far more and is triumphant. So then you all in for corruption. That's what basically you're telling us, Mulila, that you don't have a problem with corruption. Not surprised. As my Swami said, I will be victorious and will have the first work through fight. Please. He called a legal battle a $1 billion scandal, just like you will call the airport. And it turned out to be, it was not a scandal, it was real, it was a corruption. Where people have to pay back money. And right now, one went there yet, where's the name? One of the financiers and them. And it was so real that all you had to go and create a whole Ministry of Justice. Paula Judge was sitting today on the bench until the next day he on a platform with a snake in the hand, rubber snake for the UNC. He became Minister of Justice, became and died hollowed and disheartened and dishonored man. They created Section 34 to free two of you all financiers who were wanted in the United States on those same charges from the airport to answer charges, all that. Well, they went and fight so hard to get them to stay in Trinidad for. If Piaco was a hoax. So you say that this is a hoax, this is just bringing back to memory. Oh, Remember they said the same thing with Piaco? Yeah, right. For over 10 years, I have been in civil court casting aspersion on former government ministers, notably myself and Anna Roberts. Really, life sport happened, but because they went and carried inside and laid it inside the parliament without giving people who they call opportunity to defend themselves. That is why the case would have collapsed, but that other things came out of it. So those things are real. Please, I read it no more. So the point is this. She backed him and she started to talk about or something to the effect that basically saying, like, how the PNM thing is like it's casting aspersion on Indian, that all Indian does thief and is thief and all that. And again, red herring, because that is not what this is about. So Dr. Rowley had a press conference today to address that matter, and of course, ACAS tried to bring other factors into it to speak about things that he thinks he's so clever, but he sounds so amateurish. I don't think he understands how amateurish he sounds. And people were, oh my God, yes. No, he does not. He does not sound professional at all. He can never stand up next to Dominic Calipesad, never, or a Jones P. Madero. So he never stand up against a Sharon Pitt or keep it Julian Rogers. Never. He's an amateur. So this is what Dr. Rowley would have said. Just let me see what she say here again. Give her a minute. Right, she said this is an election smear. This was printed in the Express. All them Indian as thief, and Dr. Rowley had to come. I'm not going to read her filth. So Dr. Rowley had the press conference today, and this coming out of it. Just give me a minute. I just saw the thing, Right. Kamala Harris is one of the most disgusting women that it have as a public figure, and I think she would have set back women in leadership 100 years. I think because of her, the conversation that people like to have that women don't make good leaders, she would have solidified that in the people's mind who does say those things, because she had an opportunity to do so much good, being the first woman prime minister in this country, first Indian prime minister, woman as a prime minister in this country. She had a mandate 29 seats. She had all these groups coming together to do something. People were rooting for them, not me, because I know that was not going to last. Intuition. Anywho's, people were rooting for them and all that. She could have done so much good. And she took that opportunity. It's just corruption, thief, drunk, fall on every single day we heard that. So, this dog whistle about Indian PNM basically saying all Indian are thief. I thought it was Desmond Carty always he say all PNM does thief. Oh, you're saying it wrong now. You say she just plagiarized thing, and when Desmond Carty said it, he didn't mean all of we does thief like that. He spelled out exactly, said things like, if you're to reach to work for 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or you work in June or something for 6, but you do all 8 o'clock and then your thief, that's time your thief in. And if you take this and that, and in the context of all that, he said all of us thief. But I won't tell all of that part. So, what's the date today, people? The 14th. What is racism? Indians have nothing to fear, says Prime Minister. This was in the Express. And this was February 14th, which is today, 4 hours ago, 2-minute read, and I will read it because it's important, because I can't remember everything from the press conference. So Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley news conference today is to address opposition leaders Kamala Harris's defense of our Pooch East MP, Dr. Rula Mulal, who stated that the fresh corruption claims against him in the EMBD matter are fabricated and as a part of a racist strategy to campaign in the general election, alleging that all them Indian is thief. The Prime Minister lambasted Prasad Bisesa and sent a message to the nation, particularly East Indians, saying, "You have nothing to fear from the rest of the population. The law will determine who is police and who is thief." This is a particularly offensive comment by Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, one of many, I would tell you, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. And I'm sure it will not be her last. Speaking at a news conference at Whitehall, Port of Spain, he stated that contrary to Prasad Bisesa's claim, this matter has nothing to do with the People's National Movement or the election. He criticized Prasad Bisesa and Munilal for attempting to portray this as a PNM matter when previous attempts to have the case thrown out of court had failed. He noted that EMBD took the matter to court on behalf of taxpayers in April 2017 and that today's development are in relation to this case and have nothing to do with the PNM. The Prime Minister stated that he had intended to fly to Tobago this afternoon to spend the weekend, but decided he could not do so until he responded to the front page Express headline, "Racist Elections Plot," which reported Prasad Bisesa defending Munilan in the EMBD case, claiming that it was PNM propaganda and part of a racist strategy to campaign in the general election, alleging that all them Indian is thief. Prasad Bisesa had told this to the Express on Thursday when asked about fresh allegations of corruption and financial impropriety brought by the EMBD in a civil claim against a group of contractors in Munilan. Munilan himself dismissed the fresh allegation as cock and bull. Really? I wonder who cock and who bull. Farley stated that he was not aware, Dr. Rowley stated that he was not aware of the court matter that took place on Tuesday and made it clear that he does not intend to engage in sub judice or attempt to try the case in public. However, he said there are certain facts he must provide in the context of the headline. Dr. Rowley read the comments made by Prasad Bisesa and Mulal stating, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very serious matter because who are those two who can so flippantly and hopefully dismiss court proceeding in the following ways?" The Prime Minister then provided details and timelines concerning the awarding of the multi-million-dollar contract by EMBD under Prasad Bisesa's government, as well as the court action taken by EMBD under his administration. Dr. Rowley noted that during Prasad Bisesa's tenure as Prime Minister, Parliament was dissolved in 2017, June the 17th, 2015, and election was held on the 7th of September 2015. He presented information from cabinet minutes showing that millions in contracts were awarded even after Parliament was dissolved. He stated that a cabinet note was brought in July 2015 seeking approval for $400 million from First Citizen Bank for EMBD for the upgrade and development of 10 existing former Caroni and ancillary bypass roads. Dr. Rowley noted, only saying Rowley, I'm putting in the doctor. Dr. Rowley noted that the UNC lost the election in 2015, and when his government took office, EMBD on their new board faced claims of huge sums concerning work. He stated that the new EMBD board had reasons to be concerned about those payments requests and took the matter to court. He highlighted the claims made by contractors amounting to millions of dollars against EMBD in 2017. Dr. Rowley said EMBD first filed a complaint with the court alleging that these individuals colluded with other persons, including a former government minister and former EMBD officials, in an unlawful conspiracy that led to the awarding of 12 contracts and payments of $300 million for defective and overpriced work. He stated that this case was brought forward by a state enterprise on behalf of taxpayers. So nobody who you hear calling that a hoax or a cock and bull story or whatever else, that is the fact. That is the subject that has gone before the court, he said. Dr. Rowley also criticized Prasad Bisesa, saying this kind of normalization of criminal conduct has to stop. And this is why he is taking umbrage with her for providing cover for someone who has questions to answer. He said those who find themselves before the court must let the law take its course. Well, we are not surprised. There is ugly, there is who have been accused. Dr. Rai Ragbi said it also. I don't need to go it over. So again, as I said, who cock and who bull? And this conversation again, to get to the she's speaking to the tribe when she speaks about this Indian thief. That is to get the tribe worked up to say the African people. And the African people don't like them, and we're the victim, and the African people don't like me. Just as when this individual was a government minister when she did this. That is what they do, some of them. That is what some of them do, unfortunately. They have to play the race card because, again, as I said, I firmly believe that the UNC, its foundation and base is race. Because it came down from it, and UNC just pop up just like that. It has several reincarnations, and I tell you, from the days of Badi Saga Maharaj come down. And in his days when he formed the party, it wasn't for no national party, it was for Hindu people. That was his right to do that, and I can't vex the people. However, don't play it as if it was about Trinidad and Tobago. So when they talk about the dog whistle and talking this, again, I'll bring back memories of Hulsi Bagan. Because she too would have tried to appease the Indian community, in my opinion, by saying that we the monsters who are attacking them. No, Kamla Prasad Bissessar want to put it, we attacking the Indian community. So they always use race when you back them in a corner and they don't have truth. When you back them in a corner with truth, they come out with race and play victims, some of them. It was not Junior Diaz, a Dominican-American writer, who said stereotypes are sensual, cultural. In fact, let me read it over. It was Junior Diaz, a Dominican-American writer, who said, stereotypes are sensual cultural weapons. That's the way we attack people. In 1993, former Member of Parliament Hulsi Bagan made an outlandish and dangerous claim when she said that men of African descent were terrorizing and raping women of Indian descent in central Trinidad. She organized her Shogunas constituents to march against crime and encouraged them to form vigilante groups to exterminate African men who were targeting the homes of East Indians. Then we had recently pundit from Arangwa saying, urban youth from the East-West corridor targeting Indians in Arangwes, and the police said there's no data to support that. And we could go on and on and on. It's always some. It has never been the whole Indian community doing these things. Some have done it, and it has done it to the detriment of the Indian community. Because when that happens now, everybody gets on the defensive as you say something in response. So I put Kamla Prasad Bissessar in the same way I put Hulsi Bagan, gaslighting people of Indian descent. And this, what Hulsi Bagan did, was so dangerous that coming out of that we had was to get visas to go to Canada, because they were running to Canada saying that just what she said there, that African men raping Indian women. When investigations were done, it was actually Indian men putting on wigs to look as though they were African and raping their own women. I leave that right there. So, people, there's an election this year. Don't vote on emotions. Don't go out on emotions. Understand the type of party that the UNC, especially under Kamla Prasad Bissessar, is racist, in my opinion. Everybody is saying they're corrupt, that people in the party is corrupt. People in the party are charged on allegations of corruption. People in the party are accused of corrupt things. They weren't saying it. The latest to have said it is Dr. Rai Ragbir. Are you all going to throw that behind your back and go for another party that has sprung up? And again, I'm saying, I could only go, I did a little psychology. I'm not a psychologist. But children learn by what they see, they mirror what they see. And Michaela Pandey grew up with her dad, and I'm sure she would have emulated him in style and everything. And I'm sure her politics is no different. No different from her dad. And her politics, no different than her dad, UNC. So me, this is me again, my intuition. I don't expect much. Because it's the same people that you have. There's nothing new or anything new. It's just on the memory of your dad. And people love them, of course. Remember, he was an actor, you know. People tend to forget that Mr. Basil Pandey was an actor in England before he came here. So he know how to act, he know how to use words, he know how to captivate, he know how to play on your emotions. Don't get tired of the whole thing, no, don't get it twisted. He was an actor. He acted in movies, and in fact, with some renowned actors in England. So he know how to command the stage, he know how to use words, he know how to have you hanging there and all that drama. Hey, don't get tired. So I want all you to remember all the things that's been said about the UNC, what they have done, what they have not done, and they have done more harm to this country than anything else. This is what we are looking forward to. Young blood, young fresh talent, educated talent.
Good afternoon. Everything. Everything. Thank you so very much. As I walk through our communities, I see more than just roads and buildings. I see people with dreams, families with hope, and a future that we can build together. This election is not just about politics. It's about progress. It's about ensuring that every voice is heard, every challenge is met, and every opportunity is seized. I believe in a Trinidad and Tobago where hard work is rewarded, where our youth can dream big and our communities can thrive. The time for betterment is now. Together, let's step forward with confidence, with courage, and with a vision for a brighter tomorrow. I am Terry Martha, and I am here ready to sing. Thanks very much, Sean. Thanks very much, Sean. I appreciate that. Thanks very much.
I'm really proud of you. Really proud. Honestly.
Right? That's what the PNM bring to the table. Sorry about that. You know how one tape does get pulled into the next one. Let me see if I'll get this one here. Let me see if I get this one here.
Coming out, good to see such good numbers. As time unfolds and I'm going to speak more and more, I have big plans for Lavender. Energy when we come down there. They say all we do is go jump and wave. Young people, it's our movement. We're going to show them now. So look forward to great things and let me start, right? Thank you. You're not gonna stay right here, living the mass all the year. Feel like they stay right here. Look how the mass are way. Everybody charge up. We going higher. Full of energy. Everybody charge up. We going higher. Full of energy.
Right, that's
You know how long I waited to come and walk with.
That's him yesterday walking with one of the candidates. He was walking also with Kareem Marcel. I have to find out one too. And this is the other candidate for, I think it's Move On, because MP Leon is not going back up, so have Mr. Butcher, I think it is. So he's there lending support. That is what the PNM brings to the table. And let me tell you what a PNM means to this country, the importance of PNM as I wrap up.
I think if you really understand what we've done from independence to now and the role that the People's National Movement has played in the development of Trinidad and Tobago, you would understand the exceptionally bright future we in Trinidad and Tobago have ahead of us under the PNM. Our history will show that all of the great steps, leaps and bounds forward have all been under the PNM. I am proud of the role that this party has played, the leadership role in CARICOM from inception to now, the role that this PNM has played in the global energy sector, with the vision that our forefathers had in the 1970s, creating the Point Lisas estate and moving us to a gas-based industry. That was ahead of our time, and that was a global move, again, done by the PNM. What you've seen us do in the last few years maneuvering under a great leader, Dr. Rowley, to now have a future with cross-border gas, a future as a continued leader in the region, working with our CARICOM sister countries. It is only a PNM government and the leadership of the People's National Movement that can achieve these great things. We're not the populist type. PNM will govern properly, taking the hard decisions, but always ensuring that we're building a better Trinidad and Tobago, no matter how difficult it is. And that is the beauty and the strength of the PNM. So join us. Be part of the movement, a movement that's existed now for over 6 decades, with a constitution and structure. Be part of the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. We shall prevail.
People, when the election bell is rung, get everybody up who's over 18. Say a prayer, have something to eat or drink. Get your ID card out. Get everybody down to the polling stations early. And vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement. We have too much at stake. Listen to the things I speak about just today alone with the UNC. And we have been talking about that continuously. They aren't coming out now and talking because it up on their face. They can't deny it no more. They cannot, the conscience cannot allow them to deny it no more. That is why Dr. Ragbi talk out, Anita Haynes Allen talk out, Rambali talk out. Oh, they have all been talking out. It is too, it's too, I'm looking for the word. And on my face, they can't deny it anymore. You will see that bunch of cover around that table. We come up as Abisasa saying they're joining. This Sean Roberts, who is the president of something union, whatever, wasn't he the one who went on a stage as a UNC counselor and talked about Dr. Rowley's a rapist and all kind of thing, and I think he had to apologize or pay money or something, so I just asked him. This man, Lennox Smith, isn't that man was some part of some group and something with some fraud and something and some bacchanal and something and already spoke about his sister who is the president of the contracted union, general contracted workers union and delegated officers. Up to now, your members, Miss Lady, don't get a pension. They have to wait till they're 65 to get old age pension. The last leader who used to be always up under NUGFW, Lambert. For years, he in the UNC. He was a senator in the UNC, and he never even worked hard to make sure that the rated officers have a pension today. That at 60 they could get an NS and pension. He was right there in the UNC. So what you playing, you going to do? He was there. He was deputy something and the Senate. He could have acted as the president of this country if the president wasn't there or some bacchanal, whatever it is. And he never completed that project. He never see the fruition up to this day. The rated officers retired and had to wait till they're 65. For old age pension, like they never contributed to this country, and them is the tradesmen of this country. You going to sit down by table the UNC to do what? What have you done for the daily rated workers up in South? What have you done for them? But you're going to sit down with a party people, they all saying corrupted, they all saying thief, they all saying involved in all kind of nefarious activity. You want to sit down thumping this? What about your members, Miss Lady, who paying you? Them give you okay to go and sit down there to thump this? You went to Roger looking? Roger done defeated already. Roger done retired, getting money from Petrotrin and all kind of thing, whatever it is. And Roger, in my opinion, them save them in her money. Them can't get nothing. Because no woman ain't want no nothing looking like Roger. So because everything on he looking like it's soft. His hair looks soft, his face looks soft, something looks soft, and something looks soft. So if them swing her money, so them have to be forever looking for power and money. Because without power and money, nobody want them. Look how Roger looking. And then the poor young fella used to always, I used to look at thing or is it America? He looking the same way too, like it's something in the chair. It is alleged to have a chair up there nobody can sit down in. I don't know how true it is. Anyway, the point I was making is this. After what I would have played there, what Minister Stuart Young would have said, look at the two parties properly. So as I was saying, get up early, say a prayer, have a bath, and something to eat, and take the whole family, take everybody when you're leaving, call out Miss Jane, hurry up, come on, we have to bring transport for you, everything. Come on, Junior, come, Susan, don't try that, Patricia. Call everybody. Like when the street leaving, there's the whole street going on vote once over 80 with the ID card, and the voting is only for the People's National Movement because we need the PNM in office. We can't trust the UNC. We know nothing but Michaela Pandel and them to just come in just so Gary Gifford, come now, man. COP, really? Disgrace. They too had so much potential. And what they do? They go and intermingle and enter this and enter the UNC and come. Like anytime you intermingle with UNC, just walk away and come away from that corrupted, broken. I'm giving my opinion to people. The People's National Movement, dies for all the children, Or they don't play games with all the children and train future, Let me see all the way here. Today's Friday, people. Joel, Brian, Marlon, Donna, Lucy, Neil, Natalie, Stephen, Tessa, Kara, Louise, Kathleen, Debbie, and Augusto, Eva. Augusto, I see you're supporting. I think it's you, Oral Saunders and the party. That team can't do nothing for PSA. They just talk. Them can't do nothing for PSA. They don't have the expertise. And they have a man who wants to lead, has no character. He has no belly, he has no spine. All is about the camera and the life and just wanted to be president. We don't want that kind of thing. PSA need a serious man to run PSA. And that serious man, and that man who has the ability, is Nixon Linda with his team. Are professionals who know the work and could do the work and come to do the work. We have to bring back the PSA. Otherwise, that will be the end of PSA. Eva, Beverly, Angela, Roxanne, Bright Eyes, another person, Sat, Melka, Brian, Christopher, Glennis, Cheryl, Kenneth, Philomene, Lorna, Angela, Rose, Sharon, Sandra, Theophilus, Cheryl, Joycelyn, Rian, Helen, Hadara. And again, Hadara, my apologies, I had to call up a name in something and it wasn't you. And I can't remember who the person was up to this day. Joyda, Emmeline, Kevin, you're back in Tobago? I hear this misbehaving. I hear your whole story, and so behave your damn self for my life, I hear your whole story. When I come out to Tobago, I'll come and look for you. I want coconut water. I don't drink alcohol. I want coconut water. And the only fish I just really eat is like tuna or probably marlin. Just a little piece of something. So you tell me when I can come up, right, Kato? Robert, thank you all for staying truly locked in to Louis Talk Beating. Today's Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Don't overdo, don't eat too much chocolate and all them kind of thing. Right? Don't spend all this sort of money and things. Long watch a little movie, cock up and thing, have a little bottle of wine and thing, and enjoy yourself. People see all the money go spend and come in something for something. You just say girl Jenny and sister Jenny, auntie Jenny, and if you want to get formal mention of a fetch, you can have edition of it all the thing. And all you know, I just talk straight, me and business. And I say what I want to say about me. Because they can't put me in a box and say I am not a square. I am creative and I think outside the box. And when I speak truth, whether I talk it rough and loud and hype and whatever, it's truth I don't be talking. We don't be lying on nobody. And I'm saying again, see them bunch of labor Kobo and them, like Roger and Batista and all them, rest me. Don't tell me nothing about the SRC money and them deserve that SRC work for them. What all they do for their members. Oh, and I see Roger when you remember I always tell all about they went to they got 000 for the period 2015-17 coming out of a judgment for Estate Police and TING when Estate Police was offered 6% for the period 2015-17 and TING so they can't pay no more. It went to industrial court. OWTs also has workers there too. and they get thrown in the whole mix too. And the judgment, part of the judgment had to do with taking excerpts from the JCC Joint Select Committee, where the general manager of TING would have said, excuse me, that TING can make no money since 2012, I think, or something. So, and they in debt $1 million every year, and if they get substantial with the government, this could happen, blah, 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 blah. Based on that, a judgment was made because I think they were probably the greater good. So, apparently, all of it, you appeal that, and they win the appeal, so it going back to the court again. And my mind is, could you change the facts of what the man did say, or was the man lying? If the facts still remain, what the man did say back in the JSC, whether or not the industrial court would have used that, and the Privy Council saying that basically they should not use that testimony from the man in the JSC, from the general manager TING, that the court should not use that to make the judgment. I'm saying, okay, they use that. If what the man say is facts, how they're going to change the circumstances? Again, more than 6% back when TING wasn't making money, there was in debt, and it wasn't the government subvention. So I see that as a hollow victory, that's just me. But if they want to take that as a victory because he needs something, because he's soft, so he needs something to make him look hard, I'm glad for them. And if the workers, whatever, wherever they get, whatever, I'm all for workers and all that, but I'm against union leaders fooling members. And in this wrongs, there are a lot of union leaders who fooling the members because they're into politics. So people, have a blessed weekend, and again, reminisce on what I just tell you. Look at the two parties. They are not the same. They are not the same, and the policies and ideologies are not the same. One is national, one is party before country. One has always been this racial connotation by telling the members that African people don't like them. That is a fact from the days come right on, and that has not stopped by some, because you see what Vijay say here, telling the pundit and them and thing, don't let them people come inside the boundary to talk and the temple to talk, no politics, nothing. He's stopping all that. So, yeah. And the father that said they're freeing up all the Hindu vote because come if you feel like you eat or you drink, you play the ass and blah, 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 be freeing up the Hindu vote. We ain't want it, ain't welcome by we. So, I don't know, probably he's taking his father first step. And I think somewhere I remember him saying something to the effect, that if we think his father was bad, something to allow them words. Well, he, always see nothing yet. I paraphrase. People, know what all they're doing, and that bell is wrong. Know what all they're doing. See you all on Monday. God, we have a blessed one. Love you all, and happy Valentine's Day again. And I say it again. I set a labor, Kobo. That one from PSA, red, dirty, stinking individual. Dirty, like backdoor thing. Ain't do nothing for PSA members, but only politicize the PSA. We know how much is his salary, so don't tell me nothing. But with Dr. Rowley and Kamala and them getting, where they getting. Where you getting, that is more important because we paying you. We don't pay Dr. Rowley, we don't pay the senior public officers, we don't pay the rest of politicians, we just pay you. And it's your money. We paying you that you live on offer. You working for we, but you just want to move like we working for you and I want to tell you nothing. Move your red, dirty, stinking ARSC Leroy Baptiste. Take that on Valentine's Day. And I wish I could have passed up also. Dirtiness. People have a blessed one. I love you. I'll see you on Monday. God's spirit are gone. And I do business. They could cut up my life and put it all over. I will say what I say today, tomorrow, next day, whatever, because me a lying and I don't talk with water in my mouth. Love all you. What they can explain, they just want to put a label on it. Don't put no label on me. The only label I have, I'm a Rasta one. I'm black and I'm proud to be. And I love my brothers and sisters because we have to build this country together. All races. But if any video is behaving choppity, I choppity too. Yeah? And I'm not stigmatizing 2 and 3 people and stigmatize everybody else. No. In every ethnic group we go hymns. Every ethnic group go hymns. I don't stigmatize and say everybody. So right? So we don't study Kamala and them and the divisiveness and the racism and all that. We better than that. We are better than that, and we watch Carnival and you're seeing it. We are better than that. we learn to hold it in our order, right? People have all your see all their money.
The voice of the people is the voice of God. But now I'm going there and anything could happen. But the hard work happened already. We're talking about one performance. After all the hard work, the nights and the days and the thing I'm putting it together, that's the thing I want to say today. When they eliminate this thing and just watch the thing when it happens and say, you are, and you just be. Long ago.